Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the second episode of Survivor Series, and we have one of the most distinguished guests in the midst, and our midst actually. And we have Sir Bernard, all the way from Abia State. You're welcome, sir.
My pleasure to be here.
Sir, you can see Bernard. This is my guy.
Good to see you again. This is about 2 years or so.
2 years
or more.
Okay, no, this should be 3 now.
Wow.
3 years.
Wow.
3 years. Wow. You're welcome.
Good to see you.
Yeah, and we have another guest in our midst. And we have Dr. Omena. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. All right, in today's segment, we're going to be treating on a very important topic: history of Nigeria independence and Nigeria in the present now. Okay, so there have been a lot of questions concerning Nigeria independence. People believe that Nigeria did not get independence. Why some people believe, okay, yes, we are as a country we have this independence. So can you just give us a brief on Nigeria independence?
Well, there are many factors that led to Nigeria getting their independence from the British.
One of those?
Yes.
Why is that so different? Huh? It is time for our independence. We don't get factors.
You know, we're Africans.
Okay.
Nigeria especially. And a lot of things around Africans. Like I said, there are many factors. But one of the main factors why Nigeria fought for their independence is to have their self-economic growth.
So you can bet that Nigeria fought for their independence.
Of course. If not, we wouldn't have gotten our independence.
Okay. Doctor, do you believe that Nigeria fought for their independence?
Well, I would say yes. Nigeria fought for her independence because there was a movement. There was a movement for independence of Nigeria because we felt that we had come on age to be able to decide our own political, financial, and cultural fortunes.
You said there were a series of movements that led to our independence. That is Nigeria. Please, can you just tell us, what are the movements?
Okay. Well, at some point in time, we had some prominent rulers in the country decided to go to Britain and talk about being able to govern ourselves and not being governed from Britain. Because remember that the head of the monarch, the British monarch, which is the Queen, was the one that was dictating and telling us what to do through their governors like Lord Lugard and so many other governors in different regions. The word Nigeria came into being. We were actually having our own systems of government.
Okay.
Yes, we have our own system of government until the British, invaded us in the 1800s, and they established their colonies in Lagos, and the history goes on and on until 1914, when Lugard decided to join the North and Southern Protectorates. Of course, there were two different governments that were ruling themselves before now. So some people, notable people, came together and they were like, no, enough of this. We want to decide our own economic fortunes. We want to decide our own financial fortunes. Decide our own cultural fortunes. And they negotiated this. It wasn't a war.
Okay, Doctor, Sir Bernard, can you hear that? So that means we negotiated.
Yes, but it's a movement. It was a movement.
Please, I'm confused.
Independence.
A movement of unity.
Of unity.
Yes.
That was negotiated.
Do you know that now, if you bring it to the family unit,
Okay.
for example, it is known worldwide that once you are 18 years, you have independence to do what you want to do. You can get your independence. But sometimes you may find some parents who will want to hold you down. But if you have a mature mind, you can actually negotiate with your parent that, look, I am an adult, I can do this, you should allow me to do this and that. So they negotiated.
I see have. Okay, yes. It was negotiated.
Oh, you have agreed now.
Okay, you have
I'm asking about
from the start. No, see, from the start, I do agree that we negotiated for our independence.
Okay.
Unlike other African countries that fought for their independence. Should I tell you why?
Why?
You're supposed to ask me that one now. See, because I did a very good research. Do you notice? Let me shock you now. Have you noticed that in all African countries, their flag, this red,
Is there?
there's this red color there, except Nigeria. No, please counter me.
Yeah, except Nigeria. Like, what have the red? You don't have the red.
And that red signifies what?
Violence.
To me, it's bloodshed.
It's violence.
Nigeria
Violence,
is not
okay.
the only country that doesn't have red in their
Please,
flag.
which other country?
Worldwide, we have about 9 countries.
I mean African countries.
Africa is not Nigeria.
African countries that gained independence under the British rule. That is the colonial master.
Now you are redefining that statement.
Please, I don't get.
You don't want to wear the other Siki.
No. Explain, please.
Nigeria love peace. That word signifies violence.
Nigeria love peace. And
That word signifies violence.
I am fighting for answers.
As of them, they wanted peace.
Okay.
They never wanted to fight for it. They just want their independence. Give us this, let's go.
Please, viewers, explain what kind of peace. You want to give your independence and you're seeking for. No, it was not that so in other countries. Other countries they fought. Unlike Algeria, they had the first phase, the first war, second war, and the third, which is the great.
Listen to me. Even the viewers can testify that it's not everything you seek for violence.
Okay.
There are better many ways to seek for something without fight.
And that's why we are still where we are up to now.
Where we are now because we have bad leadership. When you have a very good leadership, you go for peaceful dialogue and you get what you want to fight.
This bad leadership has been in existence for how many years?
We keep having bad ones if we don't change.
From the scratch.
It's just in the system.
This okay, we're going to be turning 63, right?
Yeah, okay.
We're going to turn 63. Or we're already 63 already. So, and the government of Nigeria is still not. I don't want to say much about it because
the government.
the government.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, I'm supposed to ask you.
You are the government.
You are part of the Nigerian government.
Okay.
So when you say the government
all right.
is responsible for where we are in this country, I would say it is you and I.
Please, I'm not the government.
You are.
You are the government.
Are you not in Nigeria now? I'm like, are you the government?
I'm not the government.
Please tell us
I'm
about
Nigerian.
and they slapped you on your way.
I'm Nigerian.
So it's not government, I beg, it's not government.
There is nobody that
By Nigerian police force, DSS.
There is nobody that cannot be intimidated.
Okay.
One of the reasons why Nigeria is where we are today is misunderstanding, not getting things the right way. We are part of the government. We are part of the corruption.
Okay,
it begins with us.
Okay. Please explain. I'm still on the.
What other explanation do you need?
You see,
Okay.
it is said that change should begin with you. You know, back then when we had this two-party system in the country, the Western region had their leader in the person of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who was pushing, the agenda of the Westerners. But there became rancor and disagreement even within the Western faction. And you now see a system where in a parliamentary sitting, you see people throwing chairs, seizing the mace, which is the symbol of leadership.
Okay.
In all that started a long time ago. And why? Because of vested interest, individual vested interest. It is the individuals that come up and form the government. That's why I say the government is you and I. Now, if your orientation about the country is not that of a positive one, you take it there. If you seek a political position, you take that same orientation into the position of leadership, which is government or political leadership. And at the end of the day, we are, we find ourselves in some form of mess that we find ourselves.
Okay. What's your view like on Nigeria present leadership?
What I would say is that if you should do a proper check,
or we never start.
if you do a proper check, okay, Nigeria is not where they used to be, but we are not better.
We are not better.
But we are not where we used to be. Every leadership comes with their own change.
So are we far or are we close? So what's the distance?
I won't say we are far or not.
What are we close to or far from?
But we are not where we used to be.
Okay.
But we are better than before. That's all I can say. Because I cannot come and be telling you the leadership is bad. You know, viewers are watching.
Oh,
So we have to be very, very, very careful what we say. But we are better than where we are before.
So you used to think that this name, Giant of Africa, the name is still be our own, or you don't give another person?
No, of course.
You don't give them Ghana.
No. That was
Because Ghana as a country, they are improving.
that title still belongs to Nigeria. We still have it.
Okay, I will agree with you.
We still have the
Yes,
title.
we still have
Sabena, I agree with you. You know what I mean, right?
Why?
I will agree with you.
Why?
Okay. So how do you see Nigeria in the next 5 years?
Okay. In the next 5 years,
Oh, you don't go there around.
it's not a matter of me being around.
Nigeria could be better if we are committed
Okay.
to pursuing sustainable development goals and ideals. You know, in the words of Confucius, he said, if you have a plan for 1 year, plant rice. If you have a plan for 10 years, plant trees. But if you have a plan for 100 years, educate children. So one of the things that Nigeria must do to be better in the next 5 years and beyond is to pay special attention to education, pay special attention to our production in this country. Because right now we are operating a mono economy. So we need to diversify like in the days of old, when we had our granules, our cocoa pyramids, and all those things, where we are an exporting country. But right now we are more of an importer than an exporter.
Thank you, Dr. Omena. Okay, Sir Bernard, where do you see Nigeria in the next 5 years?
Well, Nigeria in the next 5 years is going to be a great country if the leaders start feeling what the citizens are feeling. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I don't expect or see a leader send the children abroad for education. Like what doctor said, we need to face on education.
Education.
So when we build on our education and fight corruption, Nigeria will be good again.
Do you think we can fight corruption?
It's a process. We can. It's a process.
For how many years? 62?
It's a process. No matter how you're going to do it, we are going to arrive at the point. But let's start with the process. It's a process.
Even that means we have not started.
We have not started. It's a process.
So who are the people corrupting now? Who are the corruption and who are the people corrupting? Please tell me.
We are part of the people corrupting. You are part of the people corrupting as well.
Why particularly now?
What I did last night, wanted to.
No, I did justice. I didn't.
We are part of the people corrupting, just like what you have said earlier. We are the government.
Okay.
Understand? It's not just the leaders that are corrupting Nigeria. We are also corrupting ourselves. But what we do to our business, our activity is full of corruption. So we need to address that. It's not about the leaders; it's about the citizen as well.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for participating. Thank you for staying with us on this episode on Survivor Series. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and I love you.